to hear your voice. Open my mind to the freedom of choice. Take a friend.
Soph and Trey and Chris, Brett, Nick, and Fran. We are blessed. Good morning to you. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Santa Rosa. My name is Jennifer Mann, and I am prayer practitioner and trustee emeritus. That means I've been around the block a few times. So, and hi to the live streamers. You might be in your living room, your office, but what we know is you come every Sunday and you're all over the world. So welcome. We love having you here. Hi. Okay. Oh, yes. We have a fabulous website, www.cslsr.org, and on it you can find all the information about our exciting activities that we do. There's lots going on. Small groups, concerts, classes, bake sales, you don't want to miss those, and so many more things you don't want to miss. I like to look at the bulletin on the website. It's got the typewriter, and it's where all the listings for the month are, so check it out. Also, has anybody not met Jennifer Caldwell, our youth and family director? There she is, right there. We have, thanks to her, a thriving program for our children. And you know, children are a blessing to the world. So we have programs for newborns, toddlers, elementary, middle school, and teens right here at the center. And it's thriving. If you would like to get plugged in any way or involved to help or bring your child or bring your next door neighbor, talk to Jennifer after service or send her an email, youth@cslsr.org. Also, we are passionate about education, and we have a lovely directory that can show you the classes and the workshops and the book studies that are going to be happening here from July through December. So there's a book out there at the information table, and I know there's something that will interest you and help you on your path. We also do offer scholarships for any of our classes that count as prerequisites to becoming a prayer practitioner. So if you're feeling like you're on that path and you have questions, you ought to talk to Reverend Russ after service. Okay, let's join together in community now and speak aloud our vision and mission as a community. The Center for Spiritual Living is a spiritual community that promotes global transformation through personal transformation. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. We are motivated by a compelling global vision that inspires us to bring the gifts of compassion, integrity, and loving kindness to the world through our programs and teaching. Together, we are helping create a world that works for everyone. We follow this vision through the 5 core spiritual practices of our teaching. Would you please read them with me? Spiritual study, affirmative prayer, meditation, selfless service, and spiritual circulation. And I need a moment to get my next page that I left down there. Excuse me. Thank you, Chris. Hello. This is an important and wonderful one, and I don't want to mess it up, so I had to get my words. Now it is time to extend a warm welcome to our first-time visitors. So if you are visiting us for the very first time, please stand as you can or wave your hand, and we will bring you a flower and a welcome packet as a token of our welcome. Please remain standing or keep your hand raised so we can find you. Live streamers at home, if you're here for the very first time, perhaps you would go down to the chat and let us know that you're visiting for the first time and where you're visiting from. That would be lovely. Thank you. We're grateful to have all of you. Now, taking a breath together, I know that somewhere between the music, the meditation and prayer, the practices, and Dr. Edwards' message today is exactly what you need for the next step of your spiritual unfoldment. Know that you are welcome here. Now, get ready for some beautiful music before our short time of silent contemplation and prayer.
In the silence, there is peace. In the silence, there is unspoken joy. In the silence, there's release from a world filled with chaos and noise. So I wake to these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God, I find myself. In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world filled with chaos and noise. to these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said right here in this holy silence. I find God. I find God. I find myself.
In this precious, precious moment, there is only one life. Life in, as, through, and surrounding each of us. It is ferocious. It is gentle. It simply is. It infuses all divine intelligence. It infuses every thought, every belief, every action. It is divine guidance. It is the ground of all being through which we are all rooted. It is that one source, that one creative energy that simply is. And as I am part of that divine energy, so is each and every one of us in this sanctuary and online, and in the universe and beyond. Each of us graced in the love, with the love that it is. Each of us holding that divine spark, showing the world who we are as divine entities, images of itself. I accept for this time this morning a gratefulness for this community to come together and share the love that each of us is. A gratefulness for the whole of goodness, the absolute goodness that each of us is. And through everything that is said, everything that is done, everything that is sang, it simply is that creative force that moves through us. I give great thanks for this time, and I simply release this word into the law, which always acts on everyone's behalf. And together we say, and so it is. Good morning. My name is Peggy Weber, and I'm a prayer practitioner here at the center, loving every minute of that role of who I really am. Would you please join me with the affirmation behind me as we read? I am fired up and ready to live fully, and so it is.
Water is nice, cools your brow on a summer day. Water is sweet, out of a canyon it'll show the way. Oh, oh, oh. wither without oceans blue. Water is spray. Take a drink and be born anew.
What I really want is fire. What I really need is fire. What I really want is fire. What I really need is fire. Wind is a kiss. Flustered faces in the autumn air. Wind is a guide. Out of stillness, it'll fill your sail. Wind is a song. A summer storm will whistle all night long. Wind is a cry. Uprooting earth and making forests strong. But what I really want is fire. What I really need is fire. What I really want is fire. What I really need is fire. What I really want is fire. What I really need is fire. What I really want is fire. What I really need is fire. There's a time to sit in silence by a mountain stream. There's a time to rise above my daily desires. Then a time when life is more than a private dream. Oh, it's time for fire. What I really want is fire. What I really need is fire. What I really want is fire. What I really need is fire. Fire to smolder in my soul. Fire to make me lose control. Fire to burn my last regret. Fire to do what I don't dare yet. Fire to walk without a clue. Fire to tear my past in two. Fire to dive into the deep. Fire to force me from my sleep. Fire to turn these walls to dust. Fire to risk it all for love. Fire to see what no one sees. Fire to dream what no one dreams. What I really want is fire. What I really need is fire. What I really want is fire. What I really need is fire. What I really want is fire. What I really need is fire. What I really want is fire. What I really need is fire. What I really want is fire. What I really need is fire.
Thank you very much. Wow, good morning. Phew. Yeah, certainly. Well, appropriate because our topic today is fired up. And if it feels appropriate and okay for you, please repeat these words. I am in partnership with the infinite. I am a channel through which creative energy flows. It is expressing itself right now through my thoughts of unity. Everything I do, say, and think is everything I do, say, and think is guided by creative energy. Beautiful. Our month's focus is holy boldness, and last week we began with the topic spiritual or sacred audacity, and today's topic is fired up. So here is a review of the 4 main points that we started with last week. Number 1, it can be challenging to get all fired up and excited these days, for a number of reasons. One being that there's so much going on in the world in our name and funded with our tax dollars that is difficult to digest and understand. Number 2, spirituality is not intended to make us look away from the difficulties of life as these difficulties present themselves. It's not supposed to anesthetize us and dull us down. Number 3, in our spiritual work, we are to turn our attention toward the source of creativity and that power within us so that it can direct us and inspire us and fire us up to do what we need to do in this world. And number 4, we are to stay on task, keep focused, because the change we wish to see and be in the world it can take a while. It can take a moment for it to catch up and happen. And this week, we're focusing on that idea of staying on task, staying focused. Don't give up. Don't lose hope. Because someone, somewhere, whether that's you or somebody else, someone needs us to keep a clear, compassionate mindset. So then our work becomes do whatever we need to do to keep inspired, to keep engaged, stay hopeful so we can keep on moving forward towards a world that works just a little bit better for everyone. I've been speaking to a lot of people this past couple of weeks, and many people I speak to are struggling. Maybe they feel the collective pain and suffering of the world. Whatever it is, I talk to people who seem to be struggling with quite ordinary things in their life that they typically don't struggle with. Relationships, communication, managing their health, navigating increasingly complex technology, so many things. They're having difficulty getting fired up about life. See, I believe that we do feel the collective pain of the world. And so I want to acknowledge today that if you're feeling it, it's appropriate. It's appropriate to feel sad and disoriented right now in the world because it means that your heart is still working. Your soul is still working. And your humanity is still functioning. Indeed, it is highly likely that those who are drawn to a spiritual path, a path guided by love, a path guided by compassion and equity, it is highly likely that people like that will feel the pain of these times quite intensely. It's appropriate to be troubled right now and to struggle with the questions, how do I pray when my soul is disturbed? How do I do what Dr. Ernest Holmes, our founder, said we are to do when he wrote these words? Someday, we shall learn to lay our burdens on the altar of love, that they may be consumed by the fire of faith in the living Spirit. How do we do that when we are troubled? You know, I recently saw a video of two young boys. I think they must have been about 7 or 8, and they were rummaging through the ruins of their bombed and destroyed homes in Gaza. And wherever you stand personally on the war, I've got to imagine that you must be touched by the devastation of human life in the tens of thousands, especially pregnant women and children. I must imagine that. And it made me think about a trip to Bhutan I took where one of the locals told me a story. Now, I haven't been able to check if this is a story or real, but it's a good story. Turns out that the Bhutanese army successfully stopped some aggression at one of their borders from an aggressive neighbor. And some soldiers on the opposing side were killed in the pushback. And I heard from this local that when the Bhutanese people were celebrating their victory, the king of Bhutan stopped the celebration and declared a day of mourning. Because even though they were successful and a right thing was being done, lives were lost on the other side. And as he apparently said, Buddhists could not celebrate death, no matter which side it was on. That touched me. That really got to me. Now back to these children in Gaza that I was watching on the video. They were really fired up with rebuilding their home from the rubble. Now I don't think I could get fired up standing there in their place. In such destruction that you only see in science fiction movies. And they showed the interviewer their collection of spent ammunition that had destroyed their homes, blasted their homes to shreds. And then the interviewer showed a bombshell to the camera that really had an impact on me. Because it made it real. Because it had on it printed the words USA. Department of Defense. Very similar to the bomb that Nikki Haley signed with the words, finish them, and put a heart emoji. Now, seeing the USA bomb next to the children, no matter what nationality, no matter what the circumstances, it hit me. It got into me. Spiritual beings are grieving, and rightly so, and asking the question, how ought we to pray about this? Now, our founder, when talking about prayer and how to do it, he wrote this. Our prayers should be filled with conviction and warmth and color and imagination. The creative power responds to feeling more quickly than to anything in our mental attitude. Whew. Well, how do we do that? How do we fill our prayers with warmth and feeling? This is what makes our teaching so intensely deep and demanding, because it asks us to take the time and the energy and the effort to focus on the feeling that we wish to see amplified in the world and then to become it. And so to me, that does not mean that in the presence of difficulty, I have to manufacture or pretend to be peppy or cheerful or to think positively. No, because the warmth and the color and the feeling of love can be deep and serious and sober and gritty and fiery. Here's what it means to me. Here's what I try to connect with. I want to gather up those two children in the rubble and pour my love into them and shield them and feed them. That is the energy that I want to focus on in my prayer work, so that it keeps me tuned into my humanity, so that it keeps it real, that it keeps my heart engaged, and it keeps me fired up. Now, Dr. Holmes, our founder, also wrote, when he was writing about this love, he said, love is the eternal flame of the universe. No, the very fire itself. The essence of love, while elusive, pervades everything. It fires the heart, stimulates the emotion, renews the soul, and proclaims the spirit. And I try to think about that writing. You know, love is the central flame of the universe. I try to think about it when I'm dealing with difficulties, whatever they are. Not to just avoid the difficulties, but so that I can let myself feel the disturbance in the world. And at the same time, to tap into my deep, serious, sober, gritty feelings of fierce love, and then let that love fire up my heart and stimulate my emotions, so that I do have the courage and the holy boldness to speak to other people about the horror of war. That's what makes our teaching so intensely deep. We are taught that we are part of it all. We are part of the great everything. And that love that Dr. Holmes was writing about, the one that he called the central flame of the universe, is not out there somewhere coming someday to rescue you and me. No, it's closer than that. I am, as you are, already part of the central flame of love, part of the great all that is. I am the one who must help and heal and rescue. I am part of the creative power of life. I am the one who must inspire and change. It, the flame, the fire, the love, it's not coming to save me from life or my responsibilities. It's already here, in me as it is in you. We are the change makers, not it. So then my work, and I think about it, and maybe this is true for you, my work is to tune into that fiery love and express it and channel it and think from it and live from it and be its ambassador in the world, be its agent. We are the choice makers. Speak with its voice, look with its eyes, listen with its ears. So I have to tune into it over and over and over again. And that is what practice means. That is what makes our teaching so intensely deep. We are taught to turn in and to depend on our internal connection to the eternal flame of love, to tune in there so that we can get fired up from within, so that we do not become dependent on something external out there, something out there to come and make things right, so that we don't wait for teachers, for gurus, for books, for workshops, for leaders, for politicians, for presidents, for celebrities, for ministers, for popes, for parents, for personalities to show the way. No. We are the way showers. So we are taught to feed ourselves from deep within. Now, this does not mean that other people cannot inspire us or lead us. They can, and they do. Doctors Without Borders. go read their website. The American Red Cross. Go donate blood if you're eligible. There's a shortage worldwide. World Central Kitchen. Go look at their website. Go learn about how they are feeding people in war zones across the world. And in Gaza, 50 million meals they've served. And lost 7 of their 10 of their team members to death. Now, these organizations and individuals can get a person inspired and fired up into action and feed us at the root through their core of service and the fire of love inside them. So I say, give your attention to these organizations and these people and others like them, because attention is the most valuable commodity, the most valuable resource that we have, in my opinion. Try not to withdraw your attention where it matters. Because how I think about it is, where I put my attention not only feeds me, but it also feeds that person or that organization or that idea. It's reciprocal. It's the law of circulation that we talk about. And that's something I like to get fired up about. I learned an interesting new trick in watering my house plants. Instead of pouring water on the top, somebody told me, take the whole plant, the whole pot, and put it in a bowl of water. And watch how the soil drinks up the water, which I did. And to my amazement, the plant drank the whole bowl of water. And I watched as the leaves perked up in a way I had not quite seen before. And as I watched this, I thought to myself, Edward, you too cannot be properly fed from the surface. You have to be fed from deep down in the roots. You got to get real. You got to get fired up. And to feed myself spiritually means I purposefully put my attention on ideas that uplift and inspire me and put me back on track. You know, ideas such as the ones we started with. I'm in partnership with the infinite. I accept that infinite intelligence is the reality behind everything. I accept and affirm that I am a channel through which creative power moves and expresses, and it's expressing itself right now through my thoughts of unity. And so everything I do, say, and think is guided by it. And the purpose of such work is to get fired up, to get myself fired up, to get myself engaged, to get myself fed at the root. That word is so important, engaged. Stay engaged. Don't check out. Watch, listen, talk, use your attention, feel the discomfort and let it stir up the fierce fire of your love. That's important. Because there can be a tendency among people of faith, including us in New Thought believers, a tendency to withdraw ourselves from difficult conversations, sometimes by saying that spirituality has no place in social matters, in politics, in justice, in equality. I invite you to consider this. What happens when you and I withdraw our spiritual conviction from the conversations that we have? What happens when we remove, subtract, take away what we believe from our conversations? I'll tell you what I think happens. What is left behind is the faith and conviction of other people who are not afraid to speak from their belief system. And so our voice of inclusion and oneness and compassion and unity is not heard, is not included. It might as well not exist. And I like to consider that we may be standing on the precipice, on the gateway of a new possibility for us to bring what we believe and practice into expression, proudly into the conversations we have with friends and politicians and representatives and celebrities and neighbors, and to announce to the world what our spirituality compels us to do and say and think, without making apologies to those who believe differently, without toning it down to become more palatable, without asking to be accepted in a little small place in the table of spiritual thought. Imagine that. Imagine being as fired up about our spirituality as anyone else is fired up about theirs. Imagine being clear on what my spirituality demands of me. Oh, getting cleared about that and getting fired up about that, that excites me. I think about that. What does science of mind demand of me? Or I might say it like this: what is the mandate of my spiritual tradition? Imagine telling that to the world. Maybe it would come out something like this, and you'll have your own version. My spirituality compels me to care about people who are vulnerable. My spirituality compels me to treat people with respect because of our shared spiritual heritage. My spirituality compels me to respect science, to care for the planet, and to take care of the resources. And my spirituality compels me to share my heart and my possessions. My spirituality compels me to embrace the idea that all people are created equal and that equity and equality are not special considerations. Imagine getting fired up by that. Now, next week, our topic is unbounded and unstoppable. Oh, I like that. And we will hear some inspiring stories about people who are spiritually and socially audacious, fired up, and unstoppable, even in the most challenging of circumstances, so that we may become more like them. I invite you to take a deep breath in with me, and to exhale, letting your eyes close. I know that I am in partnership with the infinite. I accept that infinite intelligence is the reality behind all things, and so I accept that I can be and am and continue to be a channel through which its creative energy flows. Its life is expressing as my life. Its wisdom is expressing itself right now through me as my thoughts of unity and compassion. And so I remember and affirm that everything I do and say and think is inspired by infinite intelligence and guided by the wisdom of the soul within. I know that I am in partnership with the infinite. I accept that infinite intelligence is the reality behind things. And that infinite intelligence is the flame of love that is at the center of the universe, and that center is in my heart. And so I'm tuning into it today so that I may be fired up from it, so that its fierce love may inspire me to speak clearly with authority and compassion. I know what to say. I am guided from within, and the compassion and love of that central flame does not lead me wrong. It leads me into kind expression, wise choices, clear seeing, and empathetic engagement in the world. And so even though I may feel I do not know how to do, what to do, a thing, I affirm again that there is that within me that does know. And so I wait upon it. I attend to it. I nurture it in me until it reveals itself to me as clear words, clear actions, connected, compassionate thought. And so today, through this prayer, then, I am committing myself to not waver from that which I know to be the truth of my being. I am one with the great everything, and through that shared heritage with all things. From this identity, a huge, deep, fierce love emerges. And I stand in it that it guides me, to let it guide me. I stand in it so that it clarifies my thought and renews my spirit. I stand in it, and in standing in this fierce love, all that which is unacceptable and not part of my vision falls away easily and effortlessly, and I keep walking forward towards a vision of a world that works just a little bit better for all. I let myself rest in openness, welcoming the changes and the revelations that do and must come. There is a deep sense of soulful gratitude in me as I appreciate the spiritual law that guides me through this life is guiding me even now to deepen my conviction and my trust. And so I bring this moment of prayer to a close, and I invite you to do that with me by saying the words we say together. And so it is, followed by a deep breath and a sigh. And just a moment of reflection. And once again, a deep breath, followed by a sigh, as we use the movement of breath to make the transition to the next part of our time together, sharing and supporting our center. I would like to begin with a note of gratitude to all the people who made a contribution to our 70th anniversary raffle that is outside. Such beautiful gifts, a beautiful quilt on the wall, the gift baskets, the certificates, and I love the way you buy a ticket, you write your number, and you put it in the prizes that you want to win. And I did a whole bunch of them because, do you know, I have never won a raffle ticket. And so I said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to buy $100 worth of tickets, and I did. And I thought I was being so clever, and I was going around putting one in each one, going back and forth, one. Until I saw a lady doing the exact same thing, but she had like $200 worth of tickets. And I was like, I'm not going to be thwarted. I'm going out for round 2. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win something. What am I going to say to you when I don't? The power of positive thinking. This is to say that it's a fun way for us to engage in celebrating our 70th year of being a spiritual center in Sonoma County, including we have a time capsule that we are right now currently preparing prayers to put in, as well as your messages of love to the future community of Science of Mind. And you can pick that up on your way out and drop the card back here, and we will include it in the time capsule. I want to thank you for being here and being part of this community and for supporting it with your presence and your love and your prayerful thoughts, and also your financial contribution. We usually take an offering, and some people give their offering electronically, for example, on our website. There are all different ways in this modern world that you can support your center financially. And let me say, we are very grateful for your support. Many spiritual centers across denominations in our country are closing and losing support. They haven't fully recovered from the pandemic. And the virtual experience has caused people to isolate, and slowly as people come back, some centers are coming back into health, but not all of them. So we are coming back slowly. We have a long way to go. We seem to have reached a plateau, and we are evaluating our future based on that, on how we can be a spiritual center in our magnificent building. We are way ahead in terms of health financially, and yet by saying that, I don't want you to give you the wrong impression that we are out of the woods. We are not. We have a ways to go. So I mention that because as the world is troubled, and as we feel sometimes a call to isolate and contract, I invite you to consider coming to your center during those times so that we can benefit from your presence. What I mean by that is, whatever condition you're in, you're welcome here. If you're messy or sad or happy or whatever it is, you're welcome here. Indeed, it is being together in community, whether your name is known or not, that has been proven over and over again to be a healing balm. Nobody needs to know your name. It's being in the room. So come and show up, get some prayers, enjoy the music, and continue to be here. It used to be the idea that slowly the experience or the idea of a brick and mortar spiritual community would be replaced by a more virtual experience. It is being proven to not be so. It is more the case now that people are recognizing their hunger and need to be among other people. You don't even have to agree with them. You don't even have to like them. You just have to be in community, because those things shift and change anyway, right? Just like with families, you don't always agree with everything, but being there is the healing balm. In that regard, we have something so precious here, so precious. There's nothing like it in Sonoma County, and 70 years of being here is magnificent. So let us support it for another 70 years with our time and our treasure and our prayer. The most important resource is your attention. Thank you for it being partly here with your community. I ask the ushers to stand, and won't you please take your gift in your hand and say after me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and prosper. It does magnificent work in the world. And so it is. Ushers, please receive the gift.
My religion is kindness, my church is nature, my God is a feeling that lives deep inside. Job is to be conscious, my path is forgiveness, my religion is kindness, and I practice it every day. Everyone has a story, everyone has pain. When we strip away our masks, we find we're really all the same. It's those little things we say and do that can mean so much. It's a smile, a connection, a simple loving touch. My religion is kindness, my church is nature, my God is a feeling that lives deep inside. My job is to be conscious, my path is forgiveness, my religion is kindness, and I practice it every day. Everyone has a story, everyone has pain. When we we strip away our masks, we found we're really all the same. It's those little things we say and do that can mean so much. It's a smile, a connection, a simple loving touch. My religion is kindness, my church is nature, my God is a feeling that lives deep inside. My job is to be conscious, my path is forgiveness, my religion is kindness, and I practice it every day.
Jack and Jew went up the hill to fetch a pail of water, but Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jew came running after. She said, Jack, tell me, what can I do to help ease your mind? He said, hold my hand and just be kind, and I know we'll be fine. My religion is kindness,
my church is nature, my God is a feeling that lives deep inside. My job is to be conscious, my path is forgiveness, my religion is kindness, and I'll practice it every day. My religion is kindness, my church is nature, my God is a feeling that lives deep inside. My job is to be conscious, my path is forgiveness, my religion is kindness, and I'll practice it every day. My religion is kindness, and I'll practice it every day. My religion is kindness, and I'll practice it every day. I said, my religion is kindness, and I practice it every day.
All righty then. I would drop the mic, but I don't want to break it. Wow. Thank you so much. Woo. Hi, I'm back. I have some announcements. It starts about our 70th anniversary, which Edward has launched some ideas in your head about that raffle. I have to admit, I went out and saw the beautiful items that people have donated, and I have a different tack. I'm going to buy a bunch of tickets and put them all in the same one of the thing I want. So you have opportunities to think that through and do it your way. But there's art, gift cards to local restaurants, to venues, to events. And, you know, you can just go out, get some raffle tickets from Mitzi, pick your lucky number, and stack the deck in your favor, however you want to do it. The raffle drawing will be held on that big day, Sunday, June 30th. So be sure to take a little walk out there and see the beautiful things. Now remember, we're having how many services on June 30th? At what time? 10 o'clock. It's going to be a party that day. So we do want to use all the available parking. I know you might have heard that before, but I'm saying it again. We have this west lot. We have the gravel part. We have PG&E. There's even a street out there. And, of course, we have our regular parking. So let's just share in the parking. Okay. Let's do this again. Why not? Raise your hand if you commit to parking in the west lot next Sunday. I parked there today. Ooh. Thank you. Okay, one service, Sunday, June 30th, followed by brunch, raffle, and planting that time capsule. Very exciting. Okay, we have a lot of people working behind the scenes already, as you can see out there, to make this event successful. But we could use a little more help. So if anyone is interested in things like serving food or food prep or setting up tables and chairs or parking attendant, please go chat with Alicia Carroll in the bookstore because she's our guide for all of that. Okay, now, have you ever struggled with mindfulness meditation and wondered if there was an easier way to access the calm, courage, and connection within you? Well, Starting on Monday, July 1st, Reverend Russ will be leading a class based on Locke Kelly's book, The Way of Effortless Mindfulness. This is a wonderful form of meditation that is particularly effective if you have had challenges with traditional forms of mindfulness, like paying attention to your breath. And it's also great if you'd like to learn a new way of approaching meditation that is fast, easy, and fun. I'm mystified. That sounds very interesting. You can sign up for Reverend Russ's class by clicking the photo of the mountain on our website. Now, what does success mean to you? Do you want more success in your life? Starting Saturday, July 6th at 9:30 a.m., Reverend Sayota is teaching the 7 spiritual laws of success based on the classic by Deepak Chopra. We will challenge the idea that success needs to be hard. Each week, we will explore the 7 laws, and through this new understanding, learn how to live in effortless harmony with natural laws in ways that enhance our well-being, health, abundance, and relationships too. You can sign up today by clicking the photo of the pink tree on the website. Now, do you enjoy food and fun company? We're having a Juneteenth summer solstice potluck, and it's coming up on June 19th at 6 p.m. in the social hall. We will share food and community together. Then at 7 p.m., we will have a Juneteenth conversation with Olivia Kinsler, Celeste Austin, and practitioner Lawrence Edwards. We will also share a special community spiritual practice that you will not want to miss. You can sign up to bring your favorite dish on our website by clicking the photo of the potluck, or you can go out to the info desk today and do so. Now, our nonprofit partner for June is the Living Room. Many of you are already familiar with this organization, as we have partnered with them in the past. The mission of the Living Room is to ease adversity, promote stability, and support self-reliance for women, youth, and children who are experiencing homelessness or who are at risk for homelessness within Sonoma County. The Living Room and their various community partners provide a multitude of services, including housing and food service programs. The Life Center is a drop-in day center with lived experience staff who serve an average of 50 to 75 women, transition-age youth, children, and pets daily. So visiting us today is Althea Larson, Executive Director of the Living Room. She will be available out in the social hall to meet with you to share more about the wonderful work they're doing in Sonoma County. Now, please enjoy this little video and hear what the clients there have to say. Thank you.
It is crucial to have a place like the Living Room for women and children, to have a place to go during the day if they're staying at a shelter, if the shelter requires for them to leave during the day, to have a safe haven to come, to recharge their batteries, to talk to a case manager in order to maybe build, some future plan for housing, for connecting them with social services, etc., etc. The list is endless here. It truly is a safe haven for women and children.
They have provided, I think, 34 resources for housing, and that's quite a few, more than anyone else. Just anything you need, they have a daily list that you can go through of what you need. Everything, and whatever you need, they can help you with.
You don't know what's out there and what kind of help you can get. And if it wasn't for this place, I would be curled up in a corner somewhere crying because I wouldn't know what to do, and meeting sweet ladies and getting friendships going, it really helps to know that you're not alone, that there is other women going through it, and together we're more powerful.
The love they have in their heart, it's priceless for someone who is experiencing trauma that goes with homelessness or the risk of homelessness. I can only imagine finding a place like this is absolutely amazing.
Their hearts are so real and so pure and so on their mission, and their mission driven. It never wavers, So they have helped me. They're like, for me, it's my family, because I don't have my family in my life. And I think about them so much. The director is just phenomenal.
It is crucial to have a place.
Thank you very much for being here today. And our AIDS Life Cycle team completed their journey yesterday. They arrived in San Francisco. And we'll wait for them to recover from that big journey to see how we can hear from them. I do know that they continued to raise funds while they were riding, and they went past the $60,000 mark in their fundraising, so that's quite terrific. If there is something that is incomplete in you, or if you cried yourself to sleep last night, please do not go home that way. Take a moment to take advantage of our spiritual support offerings online. You can go to our website, and there you will find the link to our Zoom room where you can be matched one-on-one with a prayer practitioner who is waiting for you right now to give you a spiritual mind treatment, an affirmative prayer. And if you're in the room, you can go to the back of the room where the host, Joyce Arekia, will connect you with a prayer practitioner right here, and they'll sit with you face to face and give you a prayer. Don't go home without taking advantage of that. It's a beautiful gift to give yourself. And now won't you please stand, saying something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind, life is in my body, and life is in my affairs. I think it, I feel it, and I accept it. Just the way that it is, and just the way that it is not. Thank you, life. Know with me that you are never alone, that Spirit is right where you are, that you have only to look within at any moment to know that you're guided, sustained, and inspired by a presence that expresses itself as you in this world. In deepest gratitude, let us live our lives accordingly, so that in everything that we do and say and think, we honor this presence within. And so it is. Thank you for being here. Let us close in song.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only